This rewind is brought to you by shirts. Shirts, I have them now. Hello and welcome to Bracel's Rewind, Toshiro Week. Today I'll be covering a character I've been wanting to do a rewind on forever. But some time ago I did decide to do a Toshiro Week, so I've been holding off on doing this character until now. So without further ado, let's begin. First off, we have the normal attack damage build, and much like the Halloween Toshiro from yesterday, I didn't actually take a look at this character's abilities until after filming this rewind. I knew his stats were what they were, and I knew he had an Espada killer, but I purposely didn't take a look at the abilities because I wanted to be surprised on what he could do. And boy was I surprised, but in the other direction, because his normal attack might be one of the worst in the entire game. As I mentioned, he has an Espada killer, so I knew that he wasn't going to have a killer advantage, but his attacks are so slow. He has average range, but usually when attacks are this slow, you expect much better range, or at least a lot higher damage. Unfortunately, this character has neither, as he only has a plus 15 bruiser. So yeah, not only is this not a viable build, it's one of the worst characters you can make a NAD build out of in this game right now. Maybe he'll get better when he's resurrected, but they're gonna have to do some serious work on him. Next up was the strong attack damage build, and I didn't remember much about this character's strong attacks, except for the fact that they actually seem pretty basic. And when I used them, I realized I was correct. His strong attack 1 and 2 are basic slash moves, but it doesn't matter because every now and then you get a character with basic slash moves that can actually still be viable, such as White Ichigo. But this character is no White Ichigo. It's one thing to not have Frenzy, but it's a completely other thing to not even have Berserker, especially when you're a strong attack recharge character. The only real support I had was his 100% increase of SP that I gave him, and the links attached. And even then this character lacked range from his strong attack 1 to his strong attack 3. Not to mention that once you used your strong attacks, you were stuck with your normal attacks until they came back, and I'm pretty sure I covered how bad they were pretty well. Now sure, some of the strong attacks did take out some enemies, but it did very little damage to some of the stronger enemies, and the whole thing was just not worth it. Now normally I really like the strong attack recharge build, even if the build itself isn't viable. I still find it fun and a lot better than the strong attack damage build. Toshiro is the first exception to that rule that I found, because I actually liked his previous build better. Sure, it does give you more opportunities to inflict debilitating freezing, but at least with the other builds you have some sort of damage boost. With this, it's just Toshiro's base SP because he doesn't have Berserker. Not to mention that you realize just how easy it is to miss with the strong attacks with this build because you have the opportunity over and over again. In some parts it is better that you get the strong attacks faster, but as I mentioned earlier, there's little to no damage. There was actually some instances where I had to use several strong attacks to take care of some of the minor enemies. So yeah, unfortunately this build is also not viable. I was really disappointed by this Toshiro, especially since he actually has a really devastating special. Like for the first year of the game, he actually had the best special, but unfortunately the rest of him is pretty lacking. Fortunately for him though, they're actually pretty easy fixes and something that I'm sure will get covered when he gets resurrected, and I'm actually kind of excited for that because I really like the look of this Toshiro. But until then though, he remains unusable, and I would not recommend 200ing him. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what other characters you want to see in a rewind.